going on, guys? It's Intoxicated Alien here, and today we will explore the aspiring story behind The Evil Dead. But before that, make sure to like, subscribe, and if there's any films you want me to explore in the future, make sure to comment them down below. The Evil Dead stars Bruce Campbell as Ashley Williams and is directed by Sam Raimi, who later went on to direct the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man films. Before working on The Evil Dead, Sam Raimi and his childhood friend Bruce created a short film called Within the Woods, which was sort of a rough draft for The Evil Dead. The plan was that with this short film, they would accumulate enough money for a final draft. The plan had succeeded, but with severe difficulties. Both Bruce and Sam asked everyone they knew for money, with Sam even resorting to begging. With the short film being a success and a lot of people donating, they decided to work on The Evil Dead. They found an abandoned cabin in Tennessee and started filming. Since the location was unexpected, Sam Raimi had little to no storyboard, which meant a lot of the shots and angles were thought up on the spot, which makes the film that much more impressive. The Evil Dead opens with 5 college students on a road trip in Uncle Ben's car. They cross a dangerous bridge and end up at a secluded cabin. While filming the bridge scene, the crew actually got lost in the woods and it took a long time for them to find each other, which was one of the many setbacks. As they arrive at the cabin, they notice the front porch moves back and forth as Scotty grabs the doorknob. Wait a minute, Donnie goes to the movie theater with his girlfriend Gretchen to see The Evil Dead. Interesting. As they get settled in, Cheryl decides to draw a picture of a clock, but quickly gets possessed by a demonic spirit. She then draws a picture of a book with a face on it, foreshadowing what the audience is shown shortly afterwards. During a toast, the cellar door in the other room flies open. Scotty and Ashley go down to explore where they find a bunch of plot devices, such as a shotgun, a book filled with demonic drawings, a sword, and a tape recorder. Ashley takes the tape recorder upstairs, where he learns that everything that he had found belonged to a man who was studying Kandarian ruins. The book with the demonic drawings was revealed to be a volume of ancient burial practices. The man on the tape claims that the book is bound in human flesh and is written in human blood. It deals with demonic resurrections and other strange forces within the area. The forces themselves live within a dead body, but are never truly dead. He then chants in an ancient language, which summons a lot of the demons from the dead, and from then on, the film is non-stop action. While listening to the audio commentary, I found out the director, Sam Raimi, had sent the project to an investor in hopes of gaining money. He was denied this investment, however, as it was unusual to have such a little introduction with non-stop action afterwards. Little did he know that this taboo form of storytelling would only differentiate the film in a positive light. The next scene follows Ashley and Linda. So apparently, the crew was really high while shooting this film, and you can definitely tell in this scene in particular. First off, it's completely out of focus. And second of all, the jewelry box that Ashley gives Linda changes from this to this.
Well, we also found out that the weed in Tennessee was pretty good, apparently.
Yeah.
Must have been some za. One of the demons that they resurrected earlier lures Cheryl into the woods, where a tree very creatively but disturbingly rapes her. She runs back to the cabin and insists to leave, and Ashley agrees to take her. They attempt to flee, where it's revealed that the bridge from earlier had been destroyed, leaving everyone stranded. Suspicious, Ashley listens to the tape again, where he finds out that these demons can possess humans, and that the only way to defeat them is through bodily dismemberment. Just then, Cheryl gets possessed and the gang try to stop her. They fail miserably and just get thrown around. Many of the crew got injured during this scene because they were so dedicated they would actually throw themselves into walls. Scotty then comes to the rescue and locks her in a cellar. Shortly afterwards, Scotty's girlfriend Shelly gets possessed as well, forcing Scotty to dismember her with an axe. This is the scene where I began to really appreciate the work of Tom Sullivan, the man behind the special effects. The prosthetics and makeup look amazing given the budget. Out of respect, Scotty and Ashley decide to bury Shelly. After burying her, Scotty basically says fuck you to Ashley and decides to leave. He immediately regrets his decision and comes back covered in blood. As he clings to his life, Ashley decides to smack the shit out of him, probably stripping away what little life he has left. While this is happening, the last woman, Linda, gets possessed as well. And I guess Ashley hasn't got his fill of slapping, because... After slapping everyone, Ashley gets fooled as the possessed turn into their former selves. Ashley then makes really dumb decisions, like bringing possessed Linda outside and giving dead Scotty a drink. That scene is so amazing, by the way. So Linda comes back inside and stabs Ashley with the sword that we were shown earlier. She then starts licking the blood-covered sword. I guess she a freak. Ashley then strips away the sword from Linda and stabs her in the back, leaving her spitting out pus. He locks her down using chains, and I gotta say, I laughed my ass off during this. I can't decide if the repetition of sound effects was because of a lack of money or comedic effect. Either way, it worked out perfectly. Ashley can't build up the courage to dismember her as he remembers the necklace he gave her earlier. Instead of using the bodily dismemberment route, he decides to bury her instead. This gives Cheryl the perfect opportunity to escape. Bruce, aka Ashley, had to wear a leg covering as in the film he was being scratched by Linda. The makeup layering was built really cheaply and dangerously, leaving a black mark on his leg that's still here to this day. Ashley then beats Linda with a block of wood and then chops her head off with a shovel. The crew might have been high for this scene too, because Ashley gets like a gallon of blood spilt on his face, and then the next scene, he's all clean. Ashley runs back inside where we experience a brilliant scene of sound design. Surprisingly, it wasn't the scenes themselves that had this sound, it was a reshoot. That's because many of the scenes were shot in silence. Speaking of reshoots, the entire following scene is a reshoot itself. It consists of Ashley going down into the basement where he gets mentally tortured by the forces of the forest. He goes back upstairs and gets attacked by both Scotty and Cheryl and realizes that the only way to defeat them is by destroying the book. Ashley battles the dead and eventually destroys the book, leading to a beautiful scene of stop motion. This scene most likely took forever, as it shows shot after shot of claymation. Ash is now freed, but then, shortly after, gets attacked, which is a cliffhanger to the sequel. Overall, The Evil Dead is a timeless piece with a very intriguing background. Obviously, it's not perfect, it has a few flaws, but many of these flaws are due to the low budget. For what they had, it was pretty impressive. Thank you guys so much for watching, and if you want to watch more, click right here to become an alien.